Hey guys, it's Josh from AC Talks here, and today I'm back with a brand new video where today I'm going to be discussing the top 10 things I want in Assassin's Creed 2017. So, number 10 is I want a HUD. So there's been a HUD in every single Assassin's Creed game, but I want it so its default is up, not like it was in Syndicate where its default was down. Because without a HUD, you don't feel like you're playing an Assassin's Creed game. You've got to have a HUD to make it feel like an Assassin's Creed game, otherwise it's just not Assassin's Creed. However, I've always wanted it so you have your HUD up as default, but you can take it down when you want, instead of having to be able to put it up, but you have to have it down as default. So if you have it down, that could affect how your stealth is played out, and maybe how enemies detect you, and how it could be like combat. And see, like if you're walking through the streets and your notoriety is more, the guards might notice you more if you've got your HUD down. Anyway, on to number 9 is a hidden blade. Yet again, you cannot have an Assassin's Creed game without having that in it. It's been in all the games, I think, apart from, like, you were able to use it in all the games apart from Syndicate, where they had it, but you just weren't able to use it. It wasn't a weapon that you could equip and kill people with. It was just there, which that made me so annoyed, because it's meant to be hidden, so you should be able to use it instead of using the Kakaru or the thing. You had a default weapon, you had your fist and that was it, which I think limited the capabilities of Assassin's Creed Syndicate by miles. And if they had it where there's multiple weapons, you can have so you can have swords, hammers, axes, long weapons, throwing things. Like, there's been throwing things in all of them, but I mean, as long as you've got the hidden blade in, but that's fine. However, in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, there was only one set weapon, and that was either the Kakaru or whatever, or the hidden blade. No, it was either the Kakaru or it was the cane thing. Anyway, moving on to number 8 is an improved combat system. When I say this, I don't mean anything like Unity or Syndicate, because that felt not like being an assassin. When I mean being an assassin, it means that you're meant to be good, you're meant to be highly trained. When you're an assassin, you're meant to be amazing. However, in them you couldn't counter or anything. However, Black Flags was way too easy because you won at almost every battle, and that was really too easy. However, Assassin's Creed 2, I found that a bit harder, because so the hidden blade just has a time to counter later than you had with a sword, because the blades are shorter, which I liked. And also, Assassin's Creed 3 combat was quite good, I think, because I think it wasn't too hard and it wasn't too easy, because you had to use the kicks a lot in it. But if they did something like that again, it improved the game. Like, the combat is what Assassin's Creed is based off, which is good. And if they can improve that, by far Empire can be improved so much more and become one of the best games so far, maybe in 2017. Anyway, moving on is number 7, which is a seamless open world with a huge map and barely any loading screens. So I'd like that. So I know Syndicate had a quite big map, but it took ages to get from one side to the other because of how far away the buildings were from each other. You can have a massive map as long as you can jump from buildings to buildings, which are like on the opposite sides of the streets, like you can do in Assassin's Creed 2. Because that made it fun, because it made you feel like, oh, I'm so good at parkour and everything. Whilst in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, it was very slow and clunky, the parkour, I must say. And I believe they should remove the parkour down button, just because I feel as if it restricts the flowing of the game. So you're running up to an edge and you try and jump and he stops, which I find annoying, but you can't do anything about it. And also, if it is a seamless world, I would like, so if you say kill some very important guard there, or something, your actions, what you did in that world, affected how the civilians and all the people around there respected you or anything. So your actions affect how the world plays out and how the game plays out, sort of, away from the campaign, because that'll make the game trickier or easier depending on what you can do. So it's sort of a bit like the Watch Dogs systems, where you got vigilante and then you got the cop one, whatever. I never got that one. Menace, it might be, I don't know. Like, that was a good idea, because depending on what you were, depends whether the cops, police come after you more. So if you're a vigilante, you were barely ever on the news, whatever, no one came after you. However, I'm gonna guess if you were a menace, you were on the news all the time. If people saw you, they called you police and everything. Anyway, moving on to number 6, I'd like a type of multiplayer to come to the next one, because in Unity, I really enjoyed playing Unity with my friend, because there was multiplayer in it, and because it was fun. It's because me and my friend were playing our favourite game series together, which made Unity 10 times better. And we're also, I'm not bothered what type of multiplayer it is. It can be one like Unity, or the traditional one where it's like deathmatch and all that. I'm fine with either, but it's just as long as you can play with your friends, because that improves the game. However, I'd rather have them concentrate on the story and the game functions, and then if they don't have time, leave the multiplayer out. I'd rather have them finish the game, get everything under control, top notch, no glitches, no nothing, and everything sorted before they do the multiplayer, because I think that's what messed Unity up with, because they're focusing too much on the multiplayer, which affected it by making the game glitch, slower, and everything. Anyway, moving on to number 5 is the classic customization from AC4, Revelations 2, and Brotherhood. So when I say this, I mean, like, you can go up to shops and buy armor, like in AC2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and Black Flag. And instead of having what the armor affects what your main outfit looks like, you just have one main outfit, unlike in Unity, where depending what type of armor you bought depends how your character looks. That was a good feature. However, I'd prefer it if you had one set clothing like you did in Brotherhood 3, 2, 1, Revelations, and Black Flag. However, you can change it with the armor and make yourself more protected. And also, this would allow for super armor, like the game, like from the Armor of Altair and Romulus from AC2 and Brotherhood. Moving on to number 4 is shops to return. So people be like, oh, there's already shops, like, oh, you just go and buy supplies. What I mean is blacksmiths, art people, medicine shops, tailors, merchants, and them type of people. So you go to the blacksmiths, you get all your swords, you get your weaponry stuff. So if you think about it, the people in Unity, the people you go to, I wouldn't consider them to be selling all of it. They wouldn't be selling like phantom blades, they wouldn't be selling bullets and medicine together. So if you had like separate shops for each of them, it'd make the game feel more seamless and make you feel like you're in the game instead of just going to the menu and buying them, where you have to instead go to the stores and buy the things from there. This would also remove the fact of microtransactions for treasure maps, so where instead you just go to a shop and you buy the treasure maps. That would be good. And moving on to number 3 is the villa or Rome to return. When I say this, I do not mean the villa, the whole villa just to return. I mean something like that, where you have to renovate it, renovate certain areas, and if you do renovate it, you start getting income from it, which allows for you to buy extra things. This would improve the game more, making it easier to generate money and not more like a chore, because I find that in AC Unity, the prices for medicine was so expensive. It was like 1,000, maybe 1,000, whatever the currency was in that, for medicine, which when you were first playing the game, you could barely get that amount of money, and it was so annoying. You had no medicine whatsoever, and it just annoyed me so much not being able to buy it. Whilst in say 2, Brotherhood and all them, the medicine was relatively cheap, and if you couldn't afford it, you just invested your money into the Villa or Rome, which would eventually get your money back. Anyway, moving on to the last two. Coming in at number 2 is a compelling modern day story. So, if you think back to the Desmond saga, that story drove the games for me, and as well as the core features like the Ancestor. However, that also made the game fun to be able to play out of the Animus and have its own separate story to what was inside the Animus, and how the things you were doing in the Animus correlated to the things that happen in the outside world. That's the right word. I don't know, to be honest. But that's what made it fun. If they're going to have a modern day like they had in Unity, Syndicate, Black Flag and Rogue, just get rid of it. There's no point in having a modern day if you're going to be like that. So you'd rather have, if they're going to do a modern day, put some effort into it and make a story out of it. It's like, for the past 4 or 5 games, is it? Unity, Rogue, Syndicate, Black Flag. Yeah, for the past 4 games, they've like been building up for Juno. So maybe now is the time for the extra year development cycle, maybe to add the modern day in and see how it goes. And maybe we could add Desmond's son, like we found from the data helixes. Yeah, them from Syndicate, I think. Don't quote me on that. But they could add him in, and he's in Abstergo, and he like works for them, and he has to find, say, an apple of Eden, or something in Egypt. I don't know. And he finds his the dad's files and starts to wonder. He starts to feel as if he's out of place, and what is he doing? He starts to feel as if he's a assassin. So this is sort of like the Edward and Haytham. If you've read the books, you can see how Haytham contradicts being a Templar and how he feels he should have been an assassin, which might force him to force Desmond's son to join the assassins, because he finds out that his dad saved the world and Abstergo were trying to stop him, which might cause him to turn, and maybe he has to kill William Miles, because I think he's the head of the Brotherhood. Might have just stole the whole part of the Kill Clona Club, but whatever. And then the final thing which I want to be returning in Assassin's Creed 2016-2017 is Assassin Tombs. When I say Assassin's Tombs, I don't mean tombs with assassins in. I mean that type of mission, that mission type. So you have to say, you locate these areas. If it is in Egypt, this would be amazing because you're going to the pyramids maybe. So you have to locate it, go in, do like this puzzle or whatever, free run, time trial, kill some people and all that, and you might get a key or things like that, which unlock, say, a piece of armor, so like armor of Altair and Romulus, or maybe a piece of Eden like the Sword of Eden, or say a different piece of Eden to be used. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.